All right, welcome to Casual Shenanigans Gaming, the podcast all about DayZ, Battlefield, and all things PC gaming related. I am one of your hosts, Jerem Gaming, otherwise known as Jeremiah, and this week I am joined by...
Hey guys, I am Dave, also known as the not-so-evil Viking 13.
And I'm Joel, but you can call me Wilson.
And I'm Chris.
And you can call you...
Chris.
Well, I thought I would
try.
As simple as that.
We've got to get you a better nickname.
You could be Christopher.
We'll work on
That's
that.
not really a nickname.
Chris the Destroyer, perhaps?
Chris the Destroyer. Speaking of that, why do you always introduce yourself as the not-so-evil Viking 13? I mean, it seems like you're trying to make a pretty strong statement there.
Well,
Just if you have
used to get
something
the question.
against being evil.
I don't feel like I'm living up to the name, you know? Everyone's always asking, like, why are you so evil? And I'm like, I'm not.
A lot of people seem to ask if you're from Europe, too.
Yeah, the Norway question comes up constantly.
Yeah, you sound like you're from Norway.
Yeah, America.
Anyway, episode 3, off to a blazingly good start.
Crashing and burning.
It was the best one of the Star Wars prequels, so...
Actually, I thought so. Do you agree, Joel?
Oh, I totally agree.
Like, I mean, everyone agrees The Phantom Menace was terrible. And I think pretty much everyone agrees Attack of the Clones is terrible.
Like, all the action... Okay, this is off the right time. Like, the Episode 1 pod race, amazing. Episode 2, action scenes, amazing. Episode 3 actually had a semi-decent story. Except
the
for...
story was cool. Actually, hopefully the nerds on the internet won't hate too much for this, but I thought the third was the best Star Wars movie, period.
You might have a hard time with that one.
Yeah, I know. That's not a very popular position, but my wife and I watched the all of them last year or the year before, and they do not hold up very well. I guess we only saw the ones that Lucas kind of altered even farther from the originals. He added in more CG stuff and whatever, and apparently some people don't like those. I don't think I've ever seen the originals, but...
You have to have. You're 20-something.
My friend, he watched Star Wars for the first time literally just a couple years ago, and he hated the old ones. Hated it. Like, he couldn't stand, he didn't understand what people liked about him, and I burned him on the stake.
Good to know. Moving on. Other topics. Okay, we actually don't have a lot of Battlefield news this week. Aftermath is out, and it is awesome, and we all love it, and you should play it. And some minor... What?
Earthquakes.
And the crossbow
yes.
is sexy.
Very disappointing earthquakes. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like earthquakes is just the camera shakes a little bit, and then it's over. When they were talking about earthquakes, I was thinking, like, the map is going to shift, a building's going to fall down, like, tunnels will open up, but...
Technically, they said it was going to be aftershocks, not earthquakes.
Whatever.
Oh, Dave.
Technically.
Faithful Dave.
Technically, 1 to 400 square kilometers of open world to explore.
My favorite part was when you can grapple down like on the zip lines and then attack people and set things on fire. Oh wait, that's Far Cry 3.
I hate you all.
Why?
You don't have it,
Just
Dave.
because we're all playing it together
3
and
more
laughing
days.
and having
And
fun.
you see, no one loved our podcast enough to send you a coupon.
I'm so sad.
Thank you, listeners. For
Don't worry,
anyone
Dave.
out there who didn't send him one, thank you.
There's a couple.
That made my Christmas.
In a couple days, I've got a video coming out where the 3 of us are doing co-op in Far Cry 3 together without you, and we all laugh and have a great time, and it's really, really fun. So you should definitely watch it.
I'm just standing in the rain, looking in the window.
So yeah, not much Battlefield news. They've been hinting some stuff for in-game, and there's supposed to be a trailer coming out tomorrow or today, probably when you hear this. But
dirt bikes confirmed. Dirt bikes are confirmed.
Dirt bikes are confirmed, which I'm excited about if someone can sit on the back and shoot. If it's just one person, I'm not that excited about them.
What if you could take one hand off the handlebars and use a submachine gun?
The old Derek. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Oops, sorry, Derek. I didn't mean to say your last name. He's not real.
He's not real. That was convincing.
Let me make a little time note. Edit out Derek's name.
That's okay. Joel said my full name like twice in the last podcast.
Yeah, I didn't edit it out. I'm not going to edit out most of this anyway. Okay, so anyway.
You could find me on my YouTube channel any day.
Ugh.
So, dirt bikes confirmed.
And vehicle drops.
Really?
What? What is that?
Like
yeah,
Battlefield 2?
they're not really saying what it's going to be, but they're saying that you're going to be able to drop vehicles from some kind of gigantic aircraft. I would imagine a Galaxy or something.
I hope it's like the way in Halo 4, you could just drop a ship like right down on someone whenever you want.
Well, Battlefield 2 was kind of like that. But Battlefield 2 also had supply drops and stuff. I would like to see all that come back, but I don't want this to be... Battlefield 2 is the best, me. I played Commander mode once in 64-player Battlefield 2, and the entire time people were just screaming at me for not giving them everything they wanted, and apparently I was the reason. Everyone was losing. I was just like, fine, anarchy, have it your way.
The only way to play Commander mode in Battlefield 2 was like on speed, because you had to cover the entire map and all 32 players in your team at all times. It was insane.
If it was true Commander mode, you could just demote anybody who fussed at you. So as soon as someone complains, they're just out.
Someone's like out there cleaning the latrines in the back of the map.
You're admin for a match. You were kicked for being stupid. So yeah.
Speaking of endgame, I do have some awesome news for Joel. Joel, you're gonna freak out.
I'm waiting.
Joel, I was like, did he already pass out? Holy crap.
Freak me out, Dave.
I actually forgot.
Really gay. Go ahead.
I'd actually forgotten that the original Battlefield had this, but they're going to bring back Capture the Flag in Battlefield.
Huh.
Okay. Let's just pause here for a minute. How is Capture the Flag different from Conquest? Is this Capture the Flag like where you run, get the flag, and bring it back to your base?
Halo style Capture the Flag.
Okay. I was just saying, because we kind of are capturing the flag right now.
That could be fun. I could see actually using vehicles again, at least for me.
Yeah, I see a lot of dirt bikes.
If only you could capture a flag, jump into a jet, and fly back.
Or
hold on to the jet wing and fly back with the flag in one hand and your
sounds
M1911 in the other.
We need dirt bike superiority mode. And flamethrowers. Why don't we have flamethrowers? They need to come out with a World War II Battlefield again, and we can have flamethrowers.
Ah, yes.
In other news, the Steam Winter Sale has begun. And
I just saw that, and I'm like, enough, Steam! So many sales!
It's the first day. It goes from the 20th until the 5th. I took a look at it. Has everyone had a chance to look at the sales yet?
Yeah.
No, let me look at it.
Get to the page, and then we'll talk about it. So far, I have to say I'm not that impressed, but like Dave and I were talking about earlier, it's partly because I own most of these games already.
I know, right?
They run these sales so much.
It's Dave, Mirror's Edge is on sale for $4.99. Do you have that one?
I had that one 5 years ago.
If you haven't played it, screw you, man.
I played like 3 whole hours. It was pretty sweet.
Prince of Persia.
I'll finish it one day.
The Prince of Persia franchise is $249. That can't be right. No.
No one buy Operation Flashpoint. Please, for the love of all things holy, do not buy Operation Flashpoint.
Which one was it? Red River.
Operation Flashpoint. Yeah.
Oh man, Chris.
Don't.
Remember what was the other one called? Operation. What was it called? Dragon Rising. Okay. Anyone play Operation Flashpoint? That. Anyone? So you played it?
I pre-ordered that piece of crap.
So Chris, let's talk about what that did to our computers.
I smelled burning power supply for a month.
No, other than that, remember what it did to your processor?
Yes, and my GPU.
Chris, one time, like, we smelled burning every time we tried to play it. And one time after it was done, did your fan fail? Or no, your computer locked up, didn't it?
Yeah, it would hard lock on a regular basis.
It hard locked, and when he restarted it, he went into his hardware monitor and at BIOS. And what was your CPU at? Like 104 Celsius?
Yeah, something like that.
And this is not like an i7 or something. This
is a little dual-core Phenom.
Phenom X2.
Holy crap.
And that game killed my power supply. Now, to be fair, it was a generic power supply that came in my case. It was a generic 800-watt power supply that was shiny chrome blue that came in my first computer case, and I was dumb enough to use it. And, yeah, so we just smelled terrible smells every time we played this game. And it wasn't like, I don't know, it was just a terrible, terrible game. Everything about it was bad, and it hurt our stuff, and I hate it.
The main thing that I remember about that game was I pre-ordered it. It was $38 for a pre-order of a brand new game, and that was warning sign number 1. When it actually came out, there was no kind of login for the multiplayer at all. So every pirate and hacker who torrented the game could just get on the multiplayer with everybody else. So if you got banned for hacking, you just like reinstalled the game like your torrented copy and you were back. The amount of hacking and glitching players was unbelievable. I felt so cheated, and the developers just did not care.
So, Operation Red River Rising gets a thumbs up from Casual Shenanigans. What else? War of the Roses I hear really good things about. That's on a flash sale for $15.
Now,
If
is that the
anyone's-
one that was based off of the mod?
I don't know.
It's made by the same people who did Mountain Blade. It's just
okay.
a medieval warfare game.
Mountain Blade is
Oh.
awesome. If you haven't played it, it might be on sale at some point during
The first Fable game, The Lost Chapters, is amazing. It's $2.50.
Okay, well
If you haven't gotten a chance to play it, it's a lot of fun.
that's worth a try at least.
It's really good because the whole game you can either side good or evil, and there's a lot of really good gray area choices. It's a great game.
With most
The
of
dog
these
outfit
things,
is 49 cents.
What a steal!
I don't even... What is this?
for
Oh yeah.
Arkham City Game of the Year edition. What's that on sale for? That is on sale for $7.49. That's pretty good. I got it for that off Green Man Gaming like 2 weeks ago. I think for the same price.
I may get that.
That's another thing I've noticed is that lately Amazon and Green Man Gaming and a couple other stores, they've had similar sales to Steam, like the same prices, and they're codes that activate on Steam. So I don't know. So far this sale hasn't been incredible. I mean, it's just the first day, and usually there's much better sales as it goes on. But
Did
And
you
of course,
guys,
there's all the Origin sales too. I mean,
did you
wait,
guys
what?
see the GOG.com sales?
I
of a
saw
day or so ago?
not of a day or so ago. What's for sale?
Everything. It was like
GOG.com.
everything for $5. It was if you're a fan of old games, the list was endless. It was like they could have put a sign up, "Scroll for childhood nostalgia," because that's exactly what it was.
Like, well, what were some of the ones you saw that were kind of standing out to you?
So, like anything and everything. I mean, from the original Far Cry to the old Descent to
Descent.
King's Quest.
Oh, I played Descent a long time ago. That
Who
was
didn't
great. It came
play
with
Descent?
it came with a graphics card. I think I got, or it came with a box of cereal. I don't know, one of the two.
Oh man,
That was
remember
Chex Quest.
remember when they were handing out all of the Chex Quest? Remember when they were handing out all those video games in cereal? Like there was Clue, Who Wants to Be a
Yeah.
Millionaire.
Yeah.
I think Age of Empires was actually one of them, which was weird because the rest of them were just terrible games.
Wow, there's a lot of games on this site.
Speaking of GOG, they actually had Arma 2 Combined Ops on there for $14 last week, which kind of threw me off. I'm like, when did they start selling Arma?
Oh, that is weird.
Well,
Well,
Arma 2 Combined Ops, yeah.
unless you want to play Arma, we wouldn't recommend that anyone buy Arma right now for DayZ.
I disagree.
Okay, we'll get to that later. Never mind. That's coming up later. But yeah, back to the Steam
Far
sale.
Cry 2 for $5.
Yeah, it's worth a try. If you like Far Cry 3, do not play Far Cry 2. You will hate it. If you like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
just playing today, I was almost irritated playing Far Cry 3 because I was like, man, I'm just killing the enemies and they're just gone. What am I supposed to do? Because in Far Cry 2, I got so used to every 5 minutes you had to fight for your life against somebody. But
Yeah,
Lame.
I've actually stopped taking out checkpoints because I want combat.
yeah, I know. I mean, I just got the RPG. What's the fun in driving around with an RPG if you don't encounter other people's vehicles from time to time?
Yep.
And
I
then,
just take out select ones.
and then to go along with Big Picture mode, they have a special section for controller-enabled games. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
Although controller-enabled games is most of their games, it looks like.
Yeah, that's true. Most nowadays games, almost any game is gonna have that now.
But yeah,
And I actually have a controller now, too, thanks to Joel. I mean, technically, he let me borrow an entire Xbox 360, but I was mainly just excited about the controller. It's kind of sad.
Man, I haven't played Halo 4 for a while. I haven't been able to play anything. Anytime I'm on the computer, I'm gonna have to boot up Far Cry 3.
yeah, it's true.
I'm almost kind of sad that DayZ is maybe gonna come out soon because I'm like, I want to finish Far Cry 3 because if I don't, I'm not gonna play it for a while.
So yeah, I would say, I don't know, maybe my recommendation is don't buy anything yet unless it's like 50 to 75% off because a lot of these deals aren't amazing and there haven't been a ton of new games on these deals yet, so
Yeah.
might want to wait. I mean, it's a
I'm hoping for
15-day sale.
Dishonored.
All the good stuff will show back up.
It's a 15-day sale.
Yeah. Is that what I said?
Good Lord be with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you can pick up Dishonored in the Bethesda collection with Brink.
Ooh.
Dishonored.
Ooh, how much is it?
How much is Brink?
No, how much is Dishonored?
Oh, well, Dishonored is in the collection, so it's $45 by itself. But if you buy the collection is $90. Comes with Quake, Quake 2, Quake 3, Quake 4, Rage, Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Brink. So it's not a bad deal if you didn't have any of those games, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. $90 is still kind of steep.
The Steam sales have taught me that anything over $5, I just don't buy. It's
That's
taught
true.
me bad things.
Well, and I've started sorting my games. I don't know if you guys knew you could do this. I didn't know till recently, but you can create categories in your Steam library. And so I created categories of already played, played a little bit of, played but didn't like, currently playing, and unplayed. And my unplayed list is ridiculous.
Yep.
I was just scrolling through and going,
too.
wow, if I finished a AAA title from my unplayed list every week for the next year, I wouldn't be done. And most of them
First world problems.
Exactly. Most of them I bought at, $5, $2.50. Steam, it gets to the price where you're like, well, if I don't buy that, it'll be stupid.
I'm losing money by not buying these games.
Exactly. And then as far as other great game deals, the Humble Indie Bundle 7 just came out.
Humble Bundy. Humble Bundy.
Did anyone else bought that yet?
Maybe.
I did.
Don't judge me.
There's not really any games that I really wanted, but
I always buy them, I guess, just on principle at this point. But they had Brink 2. Not Brink 2. Shank 2. And I really enjoy Shank 1. What else did it have on it? I don't know. It had a couple other games. Oh, it had The Binding of Isaac, which I've been meaning to try because I hear it's ridiculous. But yeah, so now I've got another 20 games probably in the last 2 weeks. There's been a couple really good sales, and I've got so many new ones. It's sad.
Speaking of old games and wonderful things, there's some lovely free games that I just discovered. And
Okay.
It's actually through a marketing campaign. Can you guess who's doing it?
THQ.
Nope.
Oh.
Old Spice.
What?
OldSpiceSavesTheWorld.com.
Going there now.
They have created a little story where they plug their deodorant, and they basically create old games and old games like Tyrion, all these different kinds of pixel art, side-scrolling, pretty awesome stuff. You do things like fight internet memes with lasers and deodorant, and it's just pretty epic.
I'm playing one of them right now. I'm playing this dude's head, and it opened up, and people are coming out of it, and he's flying off because he's a spaceship. Okay, that's weird.
What on earth?
That is very interesting. I guess if you need something to play in your browser, it's worth looking at.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was meaning to ask this. Dave kind of hinted at it. What games are you guys hoping to see in the Steam sale? Is there anything you're hoping to see in the Steam sale?
I think the only one would be maybe Dishonored for $15 maybe.
Yeah,
maybe 12 would be amazing.
10
don't
for
know.
me. It's got to be 10.
I don't think you'll see it below 20.
Yeah,
I
you're
can
probably
wait
right.
then.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Then.
I already beat it.
I think it's gonna be amazing.
I would definitely say $10, $20 is a fair price. $20 might be a little steep. I'd probably wait for 10. It's a good game, but once you beat it, it's kind of you're done. So
yeah,
and it's not that long. I was expecting it to be a lot longer for being a Bethesda game. It was probably only 10, 11 hours. Now I'm not a completionist. I didn't unlock everything on it. I just unlocked kind of what fit in the story and how I was playing it. But it wasn't that long, but it was very enjoyable.
Who here is a completionist? I don't know how people can do that.
I'm
That'd
a
be me.
completionist for. It depends on the thing. Like
I
if
kinda
Well,
am,
and
too.
I'm saying completionist collected every single item, does the most ridiculous thing. Like if it's Fallout, I try to do as many quests as I possibly can, because they will end after a certain amount of time. But oh my gosh, the people that go crazy.
I 100%ed Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube. I'm just going
That's
through the
hardcore,
list.
man.
Hey, Spider-Man 2 was awesome.
So I have a confession about Fallout New Vegas, actually.
Okay.
I unlocked that perk that shows everything on the map that there is to do that's left, and I unlocked it, and I started heading back towards the middle of the map, looking for objectives, and then I kind of stopped and realized that there was literally nothing left for me to do in the game. I did the perk, and I'm like, crap, I already found it all.
You did everything.
Everything. There was nothing left.
How much
I've seen it
time would
all.
you say you've put into that?
Steam knows. Let me see what Steam says. It's actually not a whole lot. 140 hours over the last 2 years.
That's
For
it?
Fallout New Vegas?
Only
Yeah,
140
and
hours?
I found everything. Every side quest.
I think I put maybe 50
It was
hours.
hardcore
in New
mode,
Vegas.
too, actually.
Hmm.
Forgot about that.
I've got 120 hours into Skyrim since
Nice.
it came out.
So, Joel, is there any game you're looking forward to being on sale other than Dishonored?
Gosh, not really. I'm just completely satisfied with Far Cry 3 right now.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. When I finish Far Cry 3, I've got Hitman Absolution and Sleeping Dogs, both of which I really wanted to play.
Ooh, Sleeping
now I'm
Dogs.
playing-
I want a good sale on that.
On Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah.
You should be able to get that for $10 on this sale, I imagine. I mean, it's been out long enough, and it wasn't so hugely popular that they're trying to keep the price up.
I haven't
'Cause
seen
I
any of
enjoyed
the
the original True
gameplay on
Crime,
that.
so. Sorry?
Oh, yeah, True Crime was awesome. True Crime Streets of L.A.?
Yeah.
Is this a sequel to that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they apparently were developing it for like 5 years, and they lost the rights to the name like with a year left in development.
This is that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. I didn't know that turned into Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really liked True Crime. I mean, it wasn't very good, but I enjoyed it.
Ouch. What does that even mean?
It means Grand Theft Auto exists.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, you hoping for any
Playing on
games?
the PC again. I've been waiting to pick up FTL on sale and just haven't yet. So
It's been $5 a couple times on different sites.
yeah, I just figured the longer I wait, I'm gonna see it for $2. I know that's bad.
Wow.
It could always be added to an indie bundle. You never know. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they always add a game or two more after a couple days, so
Yeah,
could always
Oh,
I
show up
just
in that.
figured that it's gonna be something that I'll get, so I'm in no hurry. I've got so much to play.
Right. Okay. Moving on from Steam and its lovely, lovely sales, which we'll probably be talking about again next podcast, because it'll still be going.
Oh, jeez, you're right.
So, DayZ news. Dave, you kind of hinted that there's something going on with DayZ?
Rocket went home for Christmas. he took all his toys with him.
I saw that. So, basically, what happened? What's the short version?
The short version is he actually has not really told us a whole lot other than the fact that between their massive development push from October on, along with all of the drama that's been going on with the WarZ and just all of that, he's pretty burned out. And there's an update coming sometime, and possibly a release even in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's just that we don't know anything for sure at this point. So he's just kind of at home with his family in New Zealand, relaxing, and basically watching the WarZ burn like the Hindenburg. So,
Which, I mean, if he needs a break, I mean, that's very understandable, and from what I've seen, the community has been very supportive of him, so no one's
yeah.
faulting him. Everyone, of course, is just excited for DayZ. So why do you kind of hinted that you thought people could still buy combined ops, or that it was still a smart purchase?
Well, I mean, I'm coming from a weird direction with this because I bought both Arma 2 and Operation Arrowhead within like a few months of their release, and I played through the campaign for both and really enjoyed it. So I've kind of enjoyed Arma 2 from the beginning. I think there's a lot of value there just with the game. It is very different though. It's not for everybody for sure.
Right, but do you think if someone's mostly interested in DayZ, they should just wait though, right?
Okay, well, here's the thing. I was actually talking to Joel about this, and we actually have a little bit of a bet going because I'm like, the advantage of the mod is it's being turned over to the community, and we have all these actually really nice community maps. Not all of them are amazing, but Namalsk in particular is really, really good. And we're not going to see mod maps in the standalone for probably 6 months or more next year. It's going to come much later in development that they start adding the extra maps. So if you want all of that stuff, like outside of the new Chernarus Plus map, you're going to want to have the mod. Now, I think I'm still going to be playing Namalsk even after standalone comes out because I do really enjoy it. Joel disagrees, right? Right, Joel?
Hey, dude, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. I'll tell you why. There's just these reasons are going to blow you away. First
we
of
go.
all,
Hit me.
when it releases the standalone, it's going to be pretty awesome. No matter if he doesn't add anything new, except all of it is just amazing bug fixes. It feels smoother. The map's going to probably be a lot more optimized than the other ones. It's just going to run better. And then second of all, he's not going to probably release that game to the public right away for mod support at all. If I was him, I wouldn't. Not just right away. At least for a couple months.
Well, he said that he's not. Definitely not.
Yeah. Second, it's going to be amazing. And third, we're all going to be playing it, and you're going to be the only one that's going to try playing on another map. Everyone is going to be playing in that. It's going to be amazing. And I told Dave, I was like, I'll give you straight $5 straight up or a game. I was like, if you play the old mod within 2 weeks for more than an hour, and it has to be legit, like, oh man, I really want to play this by myself. It's not going to happen, Dave. As soon as you see the new UI and it's like, oh wow, I can drag this, you're not going to go back. No way.
I think there's a good chance that I might not, but I think at this point it's like a 50-50 chance that I'll go back and play some within the first 2 weeks. There's a decent chance, but yeah, I'm not convinced either.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go pick out my Steam game right now that I want.
Oh,
Have they talked about pricing yet for the standalone?
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking. I think we actually got this question maybe on one of my comments. Someone was asking if there's going to be a discounted price for people who already bought Arma 2 for DayZ, and that's not really realistic because DayZ was free. You bought Arma 2 and you got the mod along with it, and there's no real way to figure out like who bought it just for DayZ.
Right.
What Rocket has said though is that it's going to be a blanket price that's just super low for everybody, and it sounds like it's going to be about $15 just straight off the bat.
Well, that's pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You could just like count all the sales from 6 months ago and then give the other people like 20%. Let's just be safe,
The 1.4 million sales of Arma 2 since May.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a shame though, because there is a very unique, very fun game at its core. It's just once you get around the kind of clunkiness and there's a couple things that just feel different about the game, it is a lot of fun. And I tell you what, even on the single player, there's no other game that makes me jump so bad when I take incoming fire. Like I just want to crawl into a hole whenever I get shot at in Arma 2. I hate it. Stop.
Yeah, it's really bad because you know that like there's no warning. You could just be shot and be dead and it's over. And
yeah, when you hear that sonic crack go past your head, it's just
Are you talking about a single player game?
Yeah.
Arma
Dude,
2.
I put that sucker on hard and just ran around like a schmuck, and I killed everyone so easy. It was the easiest game ever.
Are you serious?
The AI isn't great.
Yeah, you have to pretend you're actually in danger. It's so
Wow.
easy. Oh my gosh!
Wait,
Yeah,
I think a video needs to happen from this. This sounds pretty bold.
I'm saying
Yeah.
that. I mean, I didn't play the whole game. I played the maybe first 10 missions, maybe or 10 scenarios. But half the time, you're running like a mile ahead of all your teammates as they're like checking corners and stuff. I'm like, dude, everyone's dead.
Maybe that was my problem. I crept around and checked corners and hid behind stuff, so I took a lot of fire.
Dave actually roleplayed in his house too. He only ate MREs while he played.
I may have the AR-15 next to me right now. I'm just saying. What? I was checking my laser.
I like
we're
how we
playing
have
with
the
it.
two very different camps in this group. We have Dave and Chris who are like, let's hang back, let's move in quietly, let's
hide in the woods.
Let's hide in the woods and scout things out. And Joel and I are just like, can we go kill people now? Can we find people and kill them?
Stab, stab, stab.
Whoa.
What was that thing you said? I think it was one of the first times we were playing DayZ together. Joel, you were like, I think Dave was like, hey, we killed those people, and you said, quick, let's go desecrate their bodies.
Just came out of nowhere.
And I just knew. I was like, yeah, we're going to get along.
I've got to say that since we started playing this game back in May, I have learned a lot of pretty horrible things about Joel. Like, if the world ends tomorrow, the first thing I'm going to do is, find Joel and take him out just for the good of society. I can't let Joel roam around out in the apocalypse. It's just,
No, you want him.
Don't worry, guys.
You want him with you as long as he's walking in front of you.
That's a good idea, too.
If you get anything shiny, give it to him.
No, I'm definitely that kind of guy that says like, hey, can you run fast? And if you can, I'm like, if I can run faster than you, that's all I need to know.
Hello, Shane.
I'll pull a Shane on you.
Oh, there it is.
All right, so we have a super thrilling topic to talk about. So this game came out recently, and then it's kind of not out now, but it's kind of out. And it is, of course, the WarZ, which I think at this point we've talked about the WarZ more on this podcast than DayZ. But, So yeah, Dave, since you feel really strongly about the WarZ, why don't you take us through the last week?
I actually have a timeline of the disaster that is the WarZ up. Someone posted on r/gaming like just a complete breakdown of what happened with the WarZ, and I love how it starts on May 16th. A War Inc. dev, and that was the game that Hammerpoint made. Well, not Hammerpoint. They weren't called Hammerpoint at the time. The group of developers under a different name had just made this game called War Inc., which was the free-to-play shooter. In May, they post on the DayZ forum saying, "Hey guys, should we make a game like this? Would you guys like that?" And then 2 months later, they just like announced the WarZ, like, "Oh, it's been in development for 2 years, guys."
And I did not know that. I'm looking at the same list as you, and I did not know that before today. That's so dumb.
Oh, and basically what's happened is they've desperately tried to build this game in the last 6 months while claiming that the concept and the framework for the game has been going on for a few years now. And as I've watched the patches come out, playing Joel's account because I just refuse to pay for it, you can tell that they're building the game as they went along. Like they're desperately scrambling to just throw whatever they can. And it's funny because every other feature they add has some sort of like in-game marketplace tie-in.
Yeah, it's something I saw. Isn't there a pay-as-you-go for getting stuff when you respawn?
Yeah, that's actually how I avoided starvation when I was doing my video series. I was starving to death, so I ran back to a safe zone and used gold coin to buy an MRE.
You used my gold coins,
Oh,
which
totally.
I will be winning back when I win this bet.
So, essentially, these developers are just absolutely shady. I mean, the lead developer is responsible for Big Rigs on the Road Racing from 2003, which has been voted.
Oh man, I remember that.
Yeah, IGN voted it. Well, not just IGN, but actually a number of places have voted it the worst game ever created.
So they gave it a 9.0.
9.2.
No, I think actually didn't that game get a 0? I think I remember looking it up, and that game was it got like a 0 or a 1 or something.
And here's kind of where I found a really interesting parallel. On the back of the box, apparently, for the Big Rig Racing, they had all these features like, race through all these cities from coast to coast, avoid the police, avoid other trucks, and like there's like no cops in the game, there's no cities, there's like no other AI players, like the AI just sits at the starting zone, there's no AI that races with you, they just sit at the start line. So like half of the box is just outright lies. And what happened with the WarZ from these same guys is it came out on Steam on Monday with this massive features list bullet pointed on their Steam page. And I think it was something around 60% of the features on their bullet point list either did not exist at all or were like still even just like theoretical ideas for maybe next year for the game. But nowhere on the Steam page did it say that, hey, this is still alpha, it's not finished yet. It's just, no, here's our feature list, 100 player servers and private servers and player versus environment mode and a 400 square kilometer environment, and just, it was just outright lying.
And, the internet kind of lost its mind and screamed and ranted and raved for a couple days about how terrible this was. Not that anyone really has been on their side from the get-go, but people were...
there have been some people who have been just absolutely defending them from the beginning.
Seriously? I haven't seen a single person. Where are these people?
Dude, there are some hardcore fanboys of this game, and I really don't understand why. I have no idea.
They can like whatever they like. Like, they've got the right to do that. So we understand that, yeah, it's totally your right to like the game, but
your opinion is wrong.
And there's also people that are not checking the news every day like we are.
That's true. That's true. There are people who just tried it and kind of enjoyed it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
if they like it, that's not a big deal.
I think the saddest part is it's got to be sad for some of the people that probably work there that probably actually try to do a good job that might not be very good exactly what they do, but they're probably squashed with creativity, they're rushed and all that kind of stuff, and I have a feeling a lot of those people are going to probably lose their jobs and stuff like that, and that sucks. And that sucks because you have someone who's trying to cut corners to make things really good. The thing is, they could have had something really good on their hands.
Yeah.
If they just spent time with it, even if they just said, hey, this is what we have, blah blah blah, you make this version of it, whatever, and you just be straight up front with it and say the truth about things, you could get people to like the game. It's not horrible. It's just the way they're going about doing things. They're cutting corners and they're trying to use all this promotion from the other game and from being able to just say, I couldn't believe that article from GameSpy that the guy had no idea saying how it's just the way people are interpreting that the servers should be at 100, but since most people don't want it at 100, which is fine. Let's say everyone doesn't like it at 100, but I'm like, you can't say that, but then and then not deliver it. It's sad.
You know,
Russians.
I really did have a problem with the game from the announcement, just because from everything from the name to their feature list copying everything from DayZ, I was a little bit bitter about that. Just how cheap it was for them just to copy everything. But once I got over that, like kind of October when it was getting ready to come out into alpha, I started thinking to myself, okay, yeah, they're copying basically everything, but maybe, just maybe, it'll be like a cool casual version of DayZ, like kind of like Left 4 Dead feel, where I think there's a market for a more casual version of DayZ. I think I could enjoy that, but this is not it. This is just pure crap.
So it's interesting because after the big uproar on the internet, it's actually Valve pulled it from Steam this morning, I believe. And
first game ever to be pulled from Steam, I think. I think, isn't it?
There have been a couple pulled from Steam Greenlight. Well, there's been like EA had a couple games pulled from Steam when they decided to start Origin, but that was different. It wasn't pulled because of quality issues. It was pulled because of copyright complaining.
Right.
Not copyright, but EA trying to move its library elsewhere. But it's been removed from Steam, and Valve is offering full refunds for people, which the devs of the WarZ have been... Apparently, they've been pretty stingy with handing out refunds up till this point, but I guess now that Valve is involved, Valve is refunding money, which probably hadn't even been paid to the WarZ devs yet. It was probably still in Valve's bank account, and they're just giving it back and saying tough.
See, it was only 24 hours. I'd say probably not.
Yeah. So this is what I find interesting, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. Do you think Valve has an obligation to make game makers prove that their game is finished before it goes on Steam, unless it has some sort of beta tag on it?
No.
No?
Dude, there's so many games going on it. I think you can only handle so much. I mean, it's like, hey, well, here's the thing. If they said their game is finished, that's fine. Whatever. It's their fault if their game sucks like crap. I can release a game saying, oh, it's finished. Okay, whatever. It's finished. You're paying for it. You're the one paying for it. So, I mean, if it's their problem. I think it's not. I mean, it's not Steam. I don't think they have to go through the whole game and play it and make sure it's a good game, because there's a lot of games on Steam that are crap as well.
Right.
Well, I guess the thing I'm wondering about is, what most people, if those features weren't listed, all the features that were listed that aren't in the game, people wouldn't really have a problem with it. They would just think it was kind of a crummy zombie game, and that's it.
Right.
And it wouldn't really. It would be on a Steam sale for $2 in a year or so, and that'd be the end of it. But since it promised a lot of features that weren't on there, a lot of people were more upset because they saw it as them being blatantly dishonest, which you can make a very good case that they were being, not Valve. The WarZ devs were being dishonest. But if you think about it, a lot of PC games these days, when they come out, they're essentially broken too.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, when Battlefield came out, I mean, most of the servers were barely working, and a lot of that stuff, so many glitches. But it promised all that stuff up front.
That's true. They deliver on all the features.
Most time but the thing is, most gamers seem to know that within the first week things don't work.
Right.
But I think they had a much bigger list.
It's true, and they did deliver on pretty much all their features. But it just didn't work. And I guess the thing with the WarZ is the game kind of works, but it's missing a lot of the features they promised. Well, and it's missing a lot of the features they promised.
Right.
But it does kind of annoy me that a lot of PC games are essentially broken when they're released. Like Far Cry 3. They said there was going to be a day one patch that you absolutely should not play the game without. Apparently the game was so broken, or such a bad console port, that you had to have this patch to play anything. So, like, if that had come out, would people be fussing and trying to get it removed from the store, or what? I mean, I don't know. It just...
The thing with that is it's not something that wasn't as advertised. It's not like the devs of Far Cry just... put the game out there knowing there was this bug. I mean, if anybody who does any projects at all knows things happen that you overlook, and when you're trying to hit a deadline, sometimes you have to make a retraction. And they had a day one patch out. It was fixed, and most gamers who play the game aren't even going to know that there was a problem.
That's true. That's very true. And if the WarZ, I guess it feels like if they just cut back on the description, they would have had a better chance to actually make this thing work. But since they promised all that stuff, you think this is over for the WarZ?
I think this may be the end.
If they fix it. I mean, if they fix it and they get it back up there, I mean, some people are going to buy it. because it looks decent. It looks like fun.
Some people, but do you think this is kind of the last blow that's really just going to take the wind almost all the way out of their sails? Because they've taken some pretty hard hits throughout their development cycle.
Probably for 75% of the people, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I think the WarZ has kind of been a media darling, and it's kind of bothered me. That's one of the things that made me a little bit bitter was basically every gaming website, I guess they kind of have to do this, but they treated the WarZ like a legitimate game from a legitimate developer. Like, I feel like they give it more credit than it deserved, because if you looked at the evidence, looked at what they were releasing, looked at their history as a developer, I think they got a little bit too much credit, and maybe that's why this initial shock when it officially came out on Steam was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the media had been hyping it as if it were like this big AAA release, and people should have known better. And I think some of the gaming sites could have done a better job of being a little bit more on the fence and saying, hey, we have some concerns here.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would say I enjoyed the game better than I enjoyed, what's that, the Payday the Heist? I hated that game. Hated it so much. That game was so crappy.
Every podcast, aren't you, Joel?
I know, but I hated it so much. I enjoyed the WarZ much better than that game.
That makes me interested to try the WarZ a little bit, because as we mentioned on another podcast, I somewhat enjoyed Payday the Heist for the one mission I played, but I have not been tempted to try the WarZ ever since watching Dave's videos about it. Like, it looks fun at first, but then it gets...
You can use my account. I'll send you my account information.
Dave sent it to me. I just haven't, haven't felt like it. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought... Never mind.
No, I don't care. I really
I'm
don't
sorry.
I actually
know.
asked you twice, Joel.
I'm sure you did. I forget.
I think that may say it all about the WarZ right there. When someone is offered the game for free with like no strings attached, and 4 weeks later they're like, just whatever.
Haven't felt like it. Every time I sit down, I'm like, do I want to have fun, or do I want to play that? I mean, well, all right. No, the thing is, we're all adults. We all have jobs, and it's not like we're 15 and we can come home from school and play games for 6 hours a night. Like, we've got adult stuff to do. And,
yeah, that's true.
You know, it's a good night. Like, I'm doing well if I can play for an hour in a night. Like, that's a pretty good night for me.
Yeah.
So, if, you know, with all the Steam games I have in my library, you know, the 40 or 50 games I haven't played yet, and especially Far Cry 3, you know, stuff like that, it's just very hard for me to want to try something like the WarZ. Even stuff I want to try, like I'm in the Hawken beta. Well, I guess it's an open beta now. But I've been wanting to play a lot more of that, and I just haven't. Same thing with PlanetSide 2. Like, there's a bunch of really great games I want to play, but Battlefield, DayZ, and Far Cry 3 are kind of my big ones right now, and I'm just haven't felt the motivation.
Adult problems.
Oh, I know, right? I have all these games, but no time to play them. Although I'm looking forward to this winter break. I'm looking forward to plowing through some stuff. But
yeah, I was in the Crysis 3 beta for like a week, and I think I played it for an hour total, and like I had to fight to make time for it, and I enjoyed it, but I'm like, I barely remember it. It was like gone in a flash.
Crysis 3?
Crysis 3, yeah. I guess it was the alpha, not the beta. I was in the multiplayer alpha for a week.
Huh. I didn't know that was out yet.
Sometimes I have no idea why they make multiplayer games for those games.
I don't know. I played the multiplayer for 2. I played it with Chris when they were in beta, and I thought it was pretty fun.
If I didn't have something else occupying my time and I had a lot of time to play, I could have played that for a while, especially if I had friends who played.
Yeah.
So basically,
it was pretty compelling, actually.
If everything was different, you would totally play it.
Right, that's right.
The game itself is good. You just had other stuff going on.
No, it was a fun, solid, pretty well-rounded multiplayer.
I probably put 10 hours into it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent, and even in beta, it was pretty smooth. It didn't have all the problems, say, Battlefield 3 did when it was in beta.
I'm not sure much I can say about it, but I guess I can say that I did enjoy the alpha of Crysis 3 more than the actual multiplayer from Crysis 2. It just felt more thought out, I guess, more fleshed out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, are we done harping on the WarZ for this week?
Yeah, I'm good.
Something Hindenburg comment, flaming disaster.
I just want to make sure everyone feels satisfied and you feel like you've kicked the dead horse enough times before we move on.
I'm just glad that I was right. It makes me feel justified. All that bitterness and yeah, I feel special now.
Dave, I hope you sleep well knowing that people are out of their jobs and can't go home to their children to get them gifts.
That's what
I feel so bad
podcast. We're going to name this podcast, I'm Just Glad I Was Right.
I just feel so bad that Sergi had to remove the second Ferrari from his checkout box. Removed from cart.
Are we doing a podcast next week? I know we're conversational. We can talk about this on air.
I don't know. I think it all depends on what happens with DayZ.
Okay, well,
it also depends on if we're going to live past tomorrow.
that is true.
People might not actually hear this podcast.
Presuming we live. Yeah, I will talk about it next week. So, do you guys want to talk about your favorite games of the year, or what you think the best games of the year are next week, or go ahead and talk about it this week?
Well, since the end of the world is tomorrow, we should talk about what we're going to do while the world is ending.
Okay. You go first.
If we go take pictures, just go run around and be crazy.
I'm going to be at a party for youths. I'm going to be chaperoning.
For youths.
For youths.
Youths.
I'm going to be chaperoning youths. So, if the world ends,
Shenanigans.
I'm just going to have a lot of slower, less prepared people to escape from. And that's about it.
Well played, Jeremiah.
I shall be prepared.
You can climb on top of them to escape the raging rapids.
Exactly. Trample the weak, hurdle the dead. So, Chris, you're going to be taking pictures?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it should present a myriad of interesting opportunities.
Well, I would Instagram the whole thing, but I'm just afraid they're going to start selling my pictures without my permission. Does anyone know what I'm referring to? Or
yeah, I can't believe you actually Instagram that. I just want to slap you in the face for that.
Here's what I do. No. You'll respect me after this. Okay, so there's this app called VSCO Cam for iPhones. I love VSCO. VSCO, Visual Supply Company. They're a film emulation company. They make plugins for Camera Raw and Lightroom.
How do you spell that? I'm looking that up right now on my phone. My iPhone 5.
How do you spell VSCO? You spell it V.
Oh,
S
wait, sorry. The way you said...
Oh. Cam.
I thought it was just like a VSCO. I thought you said
okay,
it like
okay, I'm
VSCO,
sorry.
and you were just saying it weird. Just
It's VSCO Cam. It's $1. It's the best camera app for an iPhone. I highly recommend it. But they've got really good film emulation. And I use that for my photography work. I use their desktop software. Are you
sure it's VSEO?
CO. C is in Charlie.
CO. Got it.
And it's a really, really awesome camera app. But it's not on Android yet. They've been hiring Android developers, but it's not available yet. So what I do is I take pictures, whether with my phone or with my DSLR or whatever. I load them through Dropbox onto my iPad into VSCO Cam, which I'm running on my iPad. I'm running the iPhone version on the iPad. And then I edit the pictures there and upload them from there onto Instagram. So pretty much all of my Instagram shots, they're mostly photos taken with at least my Fuji camera.
Still, you update via Instagram.
Because a lot of people use Instagram. It's an easier way of sharing pictures. I tried Flickr. I tried 500 Pics. I have accounts on both of them, but I hate Facebook's quality. So, I don't know. Instagram is a good way just to share them quickly, but I don't like the Instagram filters. I just use VSCO or just the raw pictures themselves.
I'm hearing excuses.
I like...
Hey, let's save it for my 60 seconds where I talk about stuff.
Okay.
Because...
All right, sounds disturbingly relevant. Dave, what will you be doing as the meteors rain down from the sky?
I figure I'm pretty well prepared. I just changed the batteries and the laser on the AR-15. And I've got like 10 bags of marshmallows left over from our bonfire last month. So that's like what?
What are you going to shoot the sun as it's coming down to Earth?
This is America, totally.
Have you not been entertained?
Yep, that's pretty much
Joel,
my plan right there.
What are you going to do?
Oh, gosh. I'm probably going to have to edit a wedding.
That's so sad.
Video or audio?
Video.
What type of wedding do you still have?
What do you mean audio?
I'm sorry, I meant
edit
pictures.
An audio wedding?
Never mind, I meant pictures.
Yeah.
Photo or video? You said video.
No, I just do I shoot video.
So you had a wedding this late in the year?
No. Oh, I shot it probably a couple months ago, but I've had like 5 weddings to work on basically. So if I shoot a wedding like back to back on weekends and stuff, I got to do the first one first. I just go along. So
I was gonna say I'm done with all my wedding photo editing.
Yeah, this is the last wedding I got to do. When I'm done with it, then I got to edit this haircut video. Oh gosh. It's going to be an awesome Friday. That's kind of, I hope the sun comes down and burns us up.
If in case everyone didn't know, all of us have graphic design or video or photography related jobs. So we talk about stuff like this a lot. So if it's boring to you, I'm sorry, and you can go listen to something else.
I just thought, the film that I've been working on, it's a time travel movie.
Uh-huh.
We built an actual time travel portal device down in my friend's basement for the film. I know where he's going to be tomorrow using that. He's going to be powering that sucker up.
Yeah, but where are you going to go back to? Pretty much any time you go back to is going to be a disappointment.
No, but he's going to go back to the year 2001 or 2 or something like that, where technology still exists decently. And then
2001 was not a great year.
He should go back to 2004 and buy YouTube.
Ooh. Oh, dude, he'd be rich.
And just have an amazing 8 years.
Or he already is rich.
What? I don't know what you're doing.
He's rich, but he doesn't tell anybody because he keeps going back in time.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure what on earth are you talking about? Anyway.
We all need some Christmas vacation here, I think.
So now that we know what we're all going to be doing when the world ends, I believe it is time for 60 Seconds with Joel, the part of the podcast where Joel talks about something for most likely longer than 60 seconds. Joel, go.
Okay. Basically, something came out. I got an invite, and I can't believe I signed up for it, but I actually did.
Is there a clock going on in the background? I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's a clock.
Does it have to be doing this? Is this? Oh, you have a clock sound. I'm sorry. This is part of your bit. I apologize. I thought it was just like
60 seconds. Seriously, I got less seconds now. I've only got 30 seconds now. Screw you.
No, you can have more.
Okay,
you can have more.
So MySpace just came out, and I'm signing up, and I'm gonna get into it. The reason why is because I'm hoping to get all these people into MySpace, so that Zanga and other social media comes out, because I hate social media, but I hope people get so consumed by it, and then I'll just delete all of them because I hate social media so much. But if the only thing I can do is just to get more people signed up on MySpace, so they have to check MySpace, then Facebook, then Twitter, then Instagram, then all this crap.
Google Plus.
Right? Google
No one
Plus,
checks
dude.
Google Plus.
I have 5 more seconds. All I can say is, "Sun, burn us tomorrow. Burn us." And I'm done.
All right. I am sorry. Oh, Chris is just saying. Chris, you can say it out loud. It's fine. Everyone's cool with it. Oh, okay. Well, we're all still recording. Chris has to go. Bye, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Everyone
Bye,
at home say bye. Okay, so that's been 60 Seconds with Joel. Real quick before we move on, I just want to plug all of our stuff. If you want to be part of the show and write into us and ask questions and give comments and things, we would love to read them on air. So write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com or leave a comment on a video or send one of us a message on YouTube, stuff like that. And of course, YouTube channels. Please come check out our YouTube channels because we love it when you watch our stuff. And yes, I'm shamelessly just asking.
Why won't you love us?
Dave can be found at youtube.com/evilviking13. And I am youtube.com/germgaming. Germ spelled JERM, not germ as in germs. Anyway. Joel, do you have a YouTube channel you'd like to plug?
Oh, please no. Don't do this to the world, Joel. Don't do this to the world. Please no. This is how the world ends, guys. This is it. This is it right here.
This is it. Oh yeah, you can watch all of my awesome videos and documentaries at YouTube/BoundlessMP. That is boundless, like boundless, and then just the letters M and P. So much good stuff, guys. Just drop me a line, man.
All right,
good luck.
Go drop him a line. So
Admiral Akbar says
we have a listener question today, and it's a variation of the same question that has been asked on Reddit for pretty much every AMA in the past 2 months. It's the same person, Rule, from last week, who I pronounced his name Roel. He very sarcastically says, "Thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. Roel, pronounced Rule from Belgium." Well, Rule, I pronounced your name right, so be happy. His question is, "Dear casual shenanigans, would you rather fight..."
Shenanigans, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. "Would you rather fight against one M1 Abrams-sized Beretta M9, so a Beretta M9 the size of an M1 Abrams, or 100 Beretta M9-sized M1 Abrams tanks?"
Oh, man.
I know exactly which one I'm going to say. I'm
Okay,
going to say I'd
Go
rather...
first, then. Yeah.
I would rather fight the... I'd rather fight the Beretta M9 the size of a tank, because it's one giant bullet that might miss you, and if it does hit you, you're pretty guaranteedly just dead immediately with no pain. But if you're fighting 100 tanks that are the size of a handgun, each of their bullets is going to be almost as big as a 9mm round anyway. They're probably going to be at least 22 caliber, maybe a 380. So,
Yeah, and here's what I'm thinking too, Jeremiah. Those aren't going to be just bullets. That's going to be depleted uranium rounds.
exactly. So I think I'd much rather take my chance with like a truck being shot out of a giant gun at me than a bunch of tiny little exploding radioactive...
Oh, that would suck. My skin's burning just thinking about that.
So Joel, do you have an opinion?
Well, the initial question, I was like, what the crap is he even talking about? And then I was like, oh, guns.
It's always
I was
guns.
like, I thought he was talking about a tank for a second.
Well, we are
When
talking...
he said M1, I was like,
Yeah, M1 Abrams. That's a tank.
okay. Oh, so he's talking about a gun the size of a tank?
Yeah, or 100
Or
tanks
a lot
the
of
size
guns
a
the
gun.
size of...
Or a lot of tanks the size of a gun.
Oh, man. Who would be firing the giant one? That's what I want to know. Some
Clint
massive
Eastwood.
giant. Yeah, I'd have to go with the big one. I'd go down to my bunker I've already built.
Okay, you'll take your
I'm
chances.
just imagining the immediate loss of hearing as soon as that thing fired. You never hear anything again.
Well, I mean, that's not a whole lot different than guns on some aircraft carriers.
That's true.
Okay, and now I believe it is time for another segment of the podcast called Dave's Comment of the Week.
Dun 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 dun!
Dave, what do you have for us this week?
Alright guys, this is the section of the podcast where I play a hilarious or relevant comment for you guys, and I run it through a voice synthesizer, and we basically just enjoy that. So here we go.
JRM is a stupid driver. He could have used the hangars as cover, but he went into the open. That cost you a man down and a truck.
Okay, does anyone have anything to plug or talk about or anything like that before we sign off this week?
I don't know. I think that's all I have, really.
Yeah, just Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all you guys that are listening. Hope the world does not end before I get to get my Steam gift card for Christmas and actually buy Far Cry 3.
Another thing, we've had a lot of you guys subscribing to the podcast, which is awesome. What are you doing, Joel?
It's the last day on Earth, man.
What on earth?
Have I mentioned lately how glad I am that that's part of the track and I can't edit it out? Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant to say, have I mentioned how glad I am that you're on this with us?
Classic
But
Joel.
a lot of you guys have been subscribing through iTunes and through the RSS feed, which is cool. We appreciate it. And a lot of you have been watching on YouTube, so you people, we appreciate you too. Again, make sure you write in comments, questions, anything, discussion topics. We are very loose in our topics and everything else. Pretty much
No.
nothing is off limits, and we will treat everything with the utmost in professionalism and witty remarks. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us at Casual Shenaniga with no N, because Twitter doesn't have
It
enough
makes me laugh
characters.
every single time.
If you want to go look at our Tumblr page, you should wait till Joel updates it. And then you...
Oh yeah, I figured I'd update it once we find out we actually have people listening.
We do have... We have like
It's me, you, my mom, Dave's mom.
1,000
Just kidding.
other people.
Oh, nice.
Literally about
guys.
1,000 other people.
You just realized that
Just
people are listening
kidding,
to this?
gosh. Just kidding.
All right.
I'm curious, though. I would be curious for the next time if anyone wants to email in, but how many people actually subscribe via iTunes?
I can tell you that. I can just tell you that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got stats.
That's awesome.
We're not going to talk about it on
That's
air,
awesome.
though. We don't want to scare anybody. If you
Oh,
send
yeah,
it...
guys, tweet us and tell us where you're listening from. I'm kind of interested to see like where you're listening.
That's true. And, hey, let's do a contest. This just randomly popped into my head. So if you guys think it's a bad idea, just hold your comments to yourself. Let me see. Some Steam sale. I'll even buy the game because I didn't ask you guys about this ahead of time. Let's do a contest for a game up to $10 on the Steam sale. If you have Steam and you win this contest, we will buy you a giftable code for any game of your choice anytime during the Steam sale up to $10. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I win?
Can it be Far Cry 3?
If it's $10. So I have no idea what we need to make the person do, though. What should we make them do?
Dance on camera.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I wanted to do guess that sound effect.
Guess
I
that
was
sound
gonna try to
effect?
pick. I was gonna try to pick a sound effect from a game.
Okay.
So I'll send it to you,
Okay.
and then we can put it on there. So
Okay, so I'm not going to edit any of this out because I don't feel like it. So
that's fine. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll play a sound effect from a game, and we'll test you guys' knowledge if you guys can accurately tell me what sound effect it is from what game. I'd say you win if you can guess what game it's from. You win if you can tell me what actually weapon it is. That would be pretty awesome too.
but you just win. There's like winning,
Yeah,
and then there's winning with an extra pat on the head. But they're both really just winning. And
You're
a
we'll
winner.
we'll play it next week and announce the winner. So right here, we're going to insert the sound effect.
That was such a sweet sound effect, wasn't it, guys?
Oh yes,
Holy
it was.
crap, my mind is blown.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, guys.
All right, yeah. So send it in again. casualshenanigans@gmail.com. If you want to do anything as an audio format, you can send us audio questions, and if we feel like it, we might play them on the podcast. And you can send them in as an MP3, please. Don't send them in as anything huge. Like if you want to send me a 20 megabyte wave, I mean, I'll probably still use it. I'm just saying, don't. Send in an MP3 of your beautiful, sexy voice, and we will maybe use it on the podcast, and send in what you think that noise was, and you could win a Steam game. Or if you want like the Humble Indie Bundle 7 or something, we could buy you that. Anything up to $10 that can be bought electronically and a giftable code can be sent, I will get for you if you can guess the sound effect. And Joel, pick a pretty good sound effect.
I will. It will be a good one.
Okay, don't pick...
Or it was a good one because you just heard it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It
It
was
was,
a good one.
it was so good, everybody.
So amazing, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
I
my
know.
gosh.
Okay, well, we've drawn this ending out long enough, I think, so...
Man.
Thanks for listening,
Thanks
guys.
for listening, everybody, and have a great week and a great...
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Kwanzaa, Christmas, I don't know, whatever
Christmas.
whatever you celebrate
Kwanzaa.
in your little corner of the world. If you don't even celebrate Christmas, if you're planning on celebrating the day the sky opened up and fire rained down on everybody, happy celebrating that, and you have something wrong with you. I'm looking
And
at you,
I
Joel.
may be going out on a limb here, but I'm going to go ahead and just say, happy DayZ standalone release date. Guys,
Oh, okay.
It's totally out by now, I'm sure.
Dave, you gotta
My
let it
body
go,
is
buddy.
ready.
You gotta let it go.
No.
All right, I really mean it this time. For realsies. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
See ya.